Hey guys, Wolf of Walmart here. So, as you can see, ooh, new kayak. I am extremely excited. Again, thank you, Headwaters Kayak, for this beauty. So I got a wheel kit. Let's take a walk over here. I got the DOX Groovy landing kit. So I'm going to go ahead and try and install this thing today, because until I get some wheels on it, I can't really move it very far. I mean, it is light. It's only 80 something pounds, and like I probably could sling it over my shoulder, being as like we had to do that a lot in construction when I was younger, but I'm not younger anymore. So I'd rather have the wheels and take the time. So yeah, today I'm going to install that. Let's get started. Okay, so I don't have any overhead cam, and my wonderful GoPro here keeps smoking batteries. So if anybody's got any advice about that, please hit me up, because I need to get this thing running, and every time I throw batteries in it, they just kind of swell. Kind of like me. Anyways, so I'm not going to have any overhead cam footage. I'm sorry. I will, but as of right now, I just don't have the means to do that. But I do have the means to go ahead and open this box in front of you like this. So let's get on to it. No flat tires model, I guess, from the Boondocks. I am extremely interested in what this is going to look like. I've never done this. I have a background in building stuff for sure, but I've never done something on a kayak. So, I mean, I'm not going to film me reading the instructions, but I'm an instructions reader, so I'm going to read the instructions. Let's go ahead and see what we got in here. I'm going to set the box down so we can start pulling everything out, huh? Oh, I got it. 2 non-flat wheels. I don't know how you could flatten these things. I'm sure I'll find a way to do it, but yeah, because I got that kind of look. And then I got this track bar thing. Yeah, I don't know specific terms, but it's definitely got a guide in there, so I'm guessing something slides and clips in there. It's pretty tough, so maybe the wheels go in here. I'm not sure yet. I'm just guessing. We're going to play guessing. Oh, here we go. Well, all right then. Open these up. I should have sharpened my knife before this so I could look cooler with like one swipe of everything, but I use my knife too much. Okay, so I got one square. Oh shit. Sorry. Yeah. I also have a busted stand. So if anybody's got any suggestions, it would be great. I got 2 of these. All right, let's see what we got next, because I got a bunch of little, oh, here we go. So these slipped off of those, so I'm guessing somehow they slide in to these. And it looks like it's got tracking all the way around and then a center guide. Looks like there's some sort of set screw that goes in here. Let's see what else. 2 of those. And then I got lots of little parts. I'm not going to go through all these little parts with you guys. I mean, I'm super particular, so I'll probably have them wrote out in a specific way. But, yeah, I'll take a look at all that. But as for now, first things first, if you ever want something done right, follow instructions. So, I'll get back with you guys in a minute once I read all these instructions. Now, as I said before, I like things a specific way. So here's how I have it laid out for now, so I can find each individual part and understand where it goes. I have everything ironed out where I need it. Sorry, my bench is such a mess. It's been a hectic couple weeks. And here's my instructions. So I'm going to go instruction by instruction, and I'm going to put it all together. Also, in the instructions, it doesn't tell you the tools that you're going to need. So I'm going to go through some of my stuff and make sure that I have all the right wrenches. And I set up a drill. I'm not going to need one. The way this thing mounts on most kayaks, according to the plans so far, is it mounts straight to the plastic. The great thing about what I have here is the Bonafide RVR. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but I'm going to say it a lot. I have tracks right back here. So I'm going to mount it straight to the track guides. It doesn't tell me I have to do anything else other than that. I mean, I could drill it into the plastic, say back here, but I'm going to try and avoid drilling into the plastic until I absolutely need to. I mean, this kayak is so loaded with features, I don't see how I would have to drill into the plastic if I have the guides. So I'm going to use those. Okay, one more thing, just a pro tip in building. I've learned this over the years. Sometimes it's very hard to get an Allen key to turn in certain circumstances. Like you have to twist it with the long end and you're like, ugh, you don't really get a whole lot of good torque in that. I don't know exactly how much torque I'm going to be needing. But what I have learned is I've picked up these right here, just to let you guys know. These right here. So these are actually the Allen tips. You can get them in Torx tips, Phillips, flatheads, whatever you name it. And they go right onto your ratcheting wrench right here. So if I wanted to, see if I can do it one hand, pop it all the way on. There. Now I don't need a whole lot of space. I just need a couple centimeters in order to, and I can really tighten things down the best way possible for tension, strength, all that kind of stuff. So here we go. I got the 3/16 Allen key for these. I got a 5/32 for these. And then I got a 3/32 for those set screws. Let the adventure begin. Okay, so the first thing is I have to attach, already put them out. I'll just do it again. I have to attach these with these brackets here. So, and I had to look forward in the plans just to figure out where these two holes go. It doesn't really tell you till the end, so I had to fast forward a little bit in the plans just to figure it out. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach these brackets with this 5/32 tip. Okay, so I got these handy tight, so you can see this is how the bracket gets mounted here. Now, it doesn't give me an exact depth on this, so I'm just going to start at the end on both of them, so I'm flush with the end. The best way to find flush sometimes, if you don't want to finger tight it, put it flat on the ground. There we go. It is flat. That is as flush can get. Well, not your angle, but there you go. Flush as flush can get. I'm going to go ahead and give it a couple cranks on the wrench. I don't need it super tight yet because I don't know if I'm going to be adjusting these a lot or not. So I just want them kind of tight. There we go. And now I'm going to copy and paste because I got to do it twice. I think I talked about this earlier, but I'm using these short bolts to start with and a small lock washer. There's two sizes of lock washers in there. And I'm going to go ahead and use the small lock washer with the small bolts because that's what the plans say. Yeah, it's really interesting going through these things because coming from somewhat of a construction background, we usually get pretty elaborate plans. And these plans are not that elaborate. So I have a lot of guesswork in here. And it's not crazy. I mean, I understand like you get what you pay for, and the local shop down here will definitely assemble this for you, but it's like a $300 charge to assemble this. And I mean, if I break it, yeah, I'll be like, all right, y'all need to do this because I'm basically mentally incapable of following directions, which sometimes happens. But for the most part, I feel like I'm competent enough to be able to do this. So that's my plan, is to assemble this myself. I mean, this is part of what I'm trying to do here. I am a new kayak owner, and I'm sure that there's people out there who want to try kayak fishing and just are not confident enough to be able to do all the things. I feel like I'm capable enough of doing all the things, but I mean, also I have, you know, stuff which sometimes tells me that I'm capable of doing stuff, but I'm not. Like if you ask me to paint a picture like Rembrandt or Leonardo da Vinci, I can see it in my head. I can totally see how that's done. But physically doing it is a difficult thing. So that's well, it's not difficult. It's just something else. Like I'm just not a gifted painter. But assembling stuff, I'm not too terrible at. So if I break it, I'll pay the money. But so far, I haven't broke anything yet. All right, I'm going to go through these instructions a little bit further. I'm going to go ahead and set this up a little more, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so these instructions tell me that it's time to go ahead and try and fit this onto this. We're going to go ahead and set all that up, and I'm going to figure out exactly how that goes down over here. Let's see if I can get this to stand up on its own, because some days it just doesn't want to. Oh, it did. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and take my spacer bar, put it across here, and I'm going to set these. Now it tells me I need to set these and mark it at a specific position. I don't know if I necessarily need to mark it at a specific position because I have specific positions already marked out on this kayak. It's the track mounts. Yay! So I'm going to go to the track mounts. But it does tell me I do need to cut this bar. So I also need to figure out if it's aluminum or steel, because if it's aluminum, I have a saw for that. If it's steel, it's going to be a little bit harder work. These are slightly angled, so I might have to adjust the clips accordingly. Remember how I tightened them down earlier? I might have to adjust them a little in order to land the track. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So these are square to this guide. But these track guides, they are angled. So I'm going to have to loosen this one and slide it in a little bit. Loosen this one. Won't loosen this one. I'll line that up right there. I'll loosen this one and slide it over a little bit so it lands right in the track. Now, I also got to pick up an extra assembly kit. So that's actually going to help me get these brackets down into the tracks because the initial track assembly does not come with that. So here we go. So the spare hardware kit I got comes with these. It's a actually welded center pin bolt. Now it has a hex head in there. I'm not quite sure if that's turned to lock or what. I mean, I'll find out, but it's pretty interesting. This didn't come in the kit that came with the wheels. So I'm not quite sure if I want to center these in the track and straight nut and washer them down, or if I want to go with the regular slotted threaded washers that go inside the track and screw and washer it down. I'm gonna look into that a little bit. I know that a nut and bolt tension is usually a little bit stiffer than just going straight into threads. We'll see. I'm gonna tinker with this thing a little bit, and yeah. I mean, if there's one thing I love, it's tinkering. That's why I have a garage full of junk. You guys want to know what I did? Here we go. I went ahead and I tried the post bolt, the welded post bolt, and it seems to go really well in there. And then I tried to do the bracket on the other side, but the distance is too great between the actual bracket, the little tag, and the bolt. So I could not actually get the bolt in. So I think I am going to go with these posts. Although I don't like this exposed thread and the nut. I don't like that look. I don't like that look. But this is my first time. So I can always change it later if I find something that works better. but for now I cannot. So I am going to use the welded post. So when assembling anything to be tight, I've learned this the old hard-fashioned way, I guess you could call it. You start with your regular washer. Then you apply your lock washer. Then you put on the nut. The only reason being is when the nut tightens down, it tightens into the lock washer. The lock washer tightens into the washer, which clamps straight to your bracket. If you do it in reverse, the washer will actually slide and the bolt will slide off while the lock washer stays locked to the item that you're bolting down. But you want the nut to stay locked. So you put the lock washer directly touching the nut, the flat washer or fender washer touching the object you're bolting to. All right, guys, so they're mounted. They're ready to go. They look great. I know, well, let's see if I can get you to see them. There you go. Those brackets are mounted. I'm excited. I went ahead and tightened down all the bolts, put a little nut lock in each one to really give it that extra. Now it's time to cut this. We have to cut this spacer bar to fit. And what the plans say is you leave a 1/2 inch from the edge to where your first bolt will go. And the way you put these bolts in is there's set screw holes inside these brackets. And you put the set screw 1/2 inch in. How do I know what 1/2 inch in is inside there? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and take my square, which I already have set at a 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna take a scribe. And I'm gonna take this bar, I'm gonna scribe a line because it's a dark metal, so I can actually scratch a line in. So when I'm sliding through, I see the outermost hole, I see that 1/2 inch mark, I know that's where my set screw goes. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Set this, go. And a scribe is a scribe is a scribe is a scribe. You can use a razor knife, anything, really. I'm just using this as an example because I happen to have the tools here. Most important tool. Coffee. Now, we're going to go ahead and slide this through, and this will tell me if I really lined it up or not, if it fits. Oh, that's perfect. Right in there. Nice and snug. So, I'm going to go ahead and slide, slide, slide till I see my little scribe mark on that bolt hole. Perfect, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these set screws in, and I'll get back to you. So I have a set screw in place. Boom, right there. I also now have all this extra bar over here. See? So I take, sorry, hope you don't get dizzy on this one. I went ahead and I put the other set screw in right here. I tighten it down so it leaves a nice little mark in the middle. So when I go to unscrew these and slide the bar back out, I can cut 1/2 inch past that set screw mark. So that way I know I have the right amount of spacer bar in there. Now, if you noticed, I'm going to be fixing some things because I already forgot to put my regular washers in each one of these. I was so excited to put it together, I skipped a really important step. So what happens is if you put a bolt and a lock washer without a regular washer, that lock washer will eventually slide. That regular fender washer is made for a little bit of adjustment here and there, which means the wheels coming down, the wheels going up, hitting lots of bumps, this, that, and the other. And the lock washer locks to that washer, the fender washer. If you do not have a fender washer, that lock washer locking straight to the object and straight to the screw, there is no point of give and will eventually work itself free. So it'll be a minute, but I'll be back. Okay, so I fixed all the bolts. Let's take a look. Out of coffee. I fixed all the bolts. See, fender washer, lock washer, bolt. Now, I'm getting ready to go ahead and pull out this center bar, and we're gonna do some cutting. So let me get my little key over here, and back up you guys go. Like I said, I prefer the the socket set over the Allen key. The only issue is I don't have a small 5/32 torque set. So that's one set screw out. And here's the other set screw. This is the this is where the rubber meets the road, proof in the pudding. If this screws on right, or if I tightened it in right and it left a mark on the metal, I know 1/2 inch past that, I am cutting. Boop. Perfect. Let's get to cutting. So I went and took my scribe and my square. I scribed this line right 1/2 inch past the bolt pattern. And we should be ready to go. I don't exactly know where I'm going to set you guys out here yet, but you're going to watch. Hopefully, I don't lose a finger, huh? I mean, I've used this saw for years. Dang it. I've used this saw for years, so I don't see a point in losing a finger, but also I don't cut a whole lot of aluminum with it. So, we'll see how this goes. Now you notice I cut slow. I cut slow because when you cut metal in a saw that's, you know, made basically for wood, you'll blow the saw blade, sharp stuff everywhere. Oh, my finger in my face. And another thing, I don't know if you guys can see this. We'll go back in the garage where you can see a little better. See all the glitter everywhere? Right. See all the glitter on my sleeves? I don't know if you can see it. See the glitter up on my face? All over my mustache? When you are cutting metal of any kind, safety glasses. Now, when I bought these glasses, I made sure that they were the ANSI rating for, you know, construction. Being a union carpenter for so many years, I, you know, had to have a certain requirement for glasses if I was going to wear them on the job site. Because if not, I had to wear normal glasses and then these giant goggles over it. And, you know, I don't really feel like doing that. So I got the safety glasses to get going. So let's get this thing so good. Let's get this thing back in here. See if I can line everything up again. And let's go ahead and get the set screws and my dreaded Allen key and get this thing bolted in, all right? Another thing with the nut locks, on set screws, it's a little difficult to put them on the screw. So I tend to put them in the hole and set the screw in there. There might be a little bit of ooze out, but you can get a paper towel, wipe it right up. It's not a big deal. Even if you don't, you can let it go. It's not gonna hurt anything. It doesn't eat away at the metals, it doesn't eat away at anything. So when you're coming for set screws, which are these little guys right here, put your nut lock in the hole instead. Okay, I went ahead and I put the set screws in right here. See how I got a little bit of nut lock dripping out? I'll handle that with a Q-tip. So one thing I just noticed in trying to set the wheels and the legs up is these end caps that go on the ends of your legs that cap around the wheel. They didn't drill them out very good. This came straight from the factory out the box. I haven't touched it. In fact, let's go open one up. The other one up on video just to make sure that they're not all like this, okay? Or both, I should say. Oh, yeah. See, the other one, you can't see through it either. This one, woo, there's no plastic in the way, but this one is not drilled out very well either. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these in and drill them out myself. I'm gonna ream it, which means a couple little twists. Really run that drill bit through there. And boom. I can see you through the hole. All right. And Now for the wheel assembly. Go ahead and stick a wheel on here. The cap's a little off-centered too, but I bet I can get it through if I just give it a little bit of tough love. Come on in, baby. Yeah, girl, get it. All right. And this was how I found out it was messed up in the first place. I went to put this through and it just lifted right off. It didn't even go in. So let's see if I line that up right. Now, if not, I can always re-drill it with the wheel on. I'm trying to avoid doing that though. So, good thing about construction, everything's a hammer. Let's see if I can just tap this through, huh? I don't want to beat it too bad. I want it to go in right. So I might have to actually set this down and do this one. So I'm probably going to do this one off video. Sorry, I know it's the difficult one, and I'm sure everyone's going to run into this too, but I need to get this. But no, we're in the struggle together, and that's the point of this, because I've never done this, and this is basically for people who have never done this, who are interested in it. So we're going to struggle together. Hopefully I don't harm myself, but if I do, it's my fault. So, like I said, the plastic didn't ream out very good, so I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little touch with the drill bit. Not all the way through, just on both sides to make sure that it reams out. Ooh, there you go. See, that's an issue right there. It's moving. So, if I can just ream it out right. Ow. Old man fingers. Okay. Let's see if we can get this through, huh? It's close. Success! I know you can't really see that very well. Let's do this. Success. Got it through. Looks like these go on both sides according to the plans. So, there we're there. We are there. Now, my curiosity is, so these are angled for either side. So my best guess, this slides in here like this. First and foremost, I'm just going to put it down. And we're going to go back and get the second one. The second one looks nice and reamed out, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this thing through. Close it off. Now, there's no locking pins for these, so I'm guessing if they get damaged, my wheel could pop off. So, I mean, down the line, I either might get better clamps, different clamps, or actually sit here with the drill press and drill this out and put a little locking pin inside there to lock the locking pin. Because I'm extra. All right, get this locking pin open right here. See, they come out pretty easy. Go ahead and pop this wheel on like this. Put this locking pin in like this. I'm sure pros have like way better tips and all sorts of cool stuff. I'm not a pro. I'm a beginner. I'm trying to figure this out as I go, but I know how to build stuff. So now with this down like this, boom! Wheels are in. Now I'm gonna try to prop the wheels up and see how that works. Ready? Pull this out once I get to the water. Put it in. Boom. My wheel is up and out of the way. So it might prove a little different. We're gonna try it out. Or not. Boom, my wheels are up and out of the way. Now my curiosity is, say I'm rocking and this, that, and the other, they might fall out. So I do have a bungee cord. It doesn't say anything about the bungee, but I'm gonna go ahead and look through the plans and make sure, because if so, I'm just gonna bungee these two wheels together. Okay guys, so I got my extra bungee, and I'm thinking I might be able to just I just realized I put my wheels on backwards. All right, well, let's do it. So, notice the open side. It's not necessarily, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I like things looking a certain way. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the outside clip, which I had so much difficulty in one of these getting it on. Yay. And I am going to turn the wheel around. Because I'm weird and I like things looking a specific way. Boom. One. Very easy to adjust the wheels once they're on. Oh, this is the tricky one. This is the one I'm going to have problems with. I know it. It's going to want to pull the cap off. So I'm going to try and thumb it in there to keep it in there while I pull this thing out. Totally did not work. Now the cap's inside my wheel. Torn up cap back on. I think I'm just going to order another cap. It's not super difficult to do. You can find these caps. You can get, I'll just measure the size of the tubing. You can get it in like office brand stuff. It's basically what it is. It's an office chair cap, table, you know. And pop this sucker back through to the best of my ability. I don't want to have to keep re-drilling it because it's already super messed up. So, I'm already a little, there we go. I'm happy that this cap is not going to last very long. I don't want to super glue it in there because I can just get a new cap. So there, my wheels are now facing the correct direction. Everything's ready to go. And now, I'm locked in. This might bother me down the line. I might not want to do this, or I'll work it out from there. But for now, that'll keep these legs from sliding apart because there's tension from both sides. Because the last thing I want to do is tip my kayak and watch one leg float one way and one leg float the other way. In fact, these aren't even air, so chances of them floating, plastic to metal ratio, little to none that they will actually float. Do I want to test that? Maybe later, but definitely not today. It is cold. I am wearing a hoodie. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Let's test this and see if it works. I mean, why not? So I'm gonna go ahead and move some tools, open up the garage, and get everything ready to put this sucker on its wheels and put it in my truck, because that is the point of these things, is to put it in and out of my truck by my lonesome. So here we go. All right, guys, I had to take a little bit of a break. I haven't been able to get this thing out yet. Hi, say hi. Say hi. You're silly. Somebody needed a little bit of food and a little bit of sleep, so I'll be getting this thing out shortly. Exactly. Okay, guys, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead, unstrap my little extra bungee, because I'm extra. We're gonna see about dropping this one down. I'm curious. I went ahead and I got this little yak gadget clip too, so when I go to tuck my paddle and ship it around, makes it a little bit easier. Let's go ahead and see how well this works. Another good point about this RVR is it is, I have a feeling it's just going to wheel, so I'm going to go ahead and walk myself up it. It is extremely light for the size of kayak that it is. It's incredibly light. And there's so many handles everywhere that if I needed to grab one, I could. But for now, Let's go. One. Two. Done. I mean, you know, I gotta strap her down and all, but that was really easy. All right, let's do the litmus test. Putting it in is one thing. Let's go ahead and get her out and see how she looks. Not a bad angle from the pickup bed. I mean, I'm sure if I was on top of a car, it might be a little more difficult, but it's proving to be reasonably easy. I mean, extremely easy. Down to the water we go. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for taking that little fun adventure with me. All the ups and downs and all arounds and the stuff that I put on backwards and forgot stuff and had to fix it. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope somebody is interested in this as I am, because not only do I absolutely love fishing, but I love projects too. As you can see, I have a bunch of unfinished ones. But just so you guys know, in case you decide to get the DOX system and attach it to what I have is RVR with a track mount system, here's basically what you're going to need. You're going to need a 3/16, either Allen or socket, you know, Allen tip. You're going to need a 5/32 Allen or socket. You're going to need a 3/32 Allen key or socket. I just don't have one. I put them on this wrench. You're going to need a scratch awl and a square and some type of thing to measure with, either the square or the measuring tape. I like the combo squares. It just makes everything easy. I can mark it and then turn it on the side, lock it in. I have a straight line. Also, like me, you might need a drill just in case. And the drill bit's going to be a cording. I think I used 7/32 drill bit. I'm going to have to double check on that for you guys. I'll put it down in the comments or something. But thank you so much for watching. And I hope you guys like this. And if you do, like this. It's pretty cool. I'm going to do a lot more of this stuff. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too.